I'm going to start a little bit back. You have to understand what the Rebbe is presenting to us. The line begins with the word dufkah, approximately 10 lines from the bottom, on page Kuf Mem Vav. The Rebbe says that the creation is Habus Ha'olamus.
Can I ask?
Let me just introduce.
Yeah.
It's Habus Ha'olamus. To bring about the creation of the world, it has to be from the ratzon Eliki. Ratzon is a makif, not the pnimi that the spheres that ultimately are the ones that are expressed in the creation of the world. But actually, creation has to be from the Oyer Sasei, from the Oyer Makif. And this is what the Rebbe is going to explain. Yes?
I tried to ask it on WhatsApp, maybe it was not clear. It was explained under Shemesh, is a Etzem Behidi. And
Shemesh is
the Etzem Behidi.
The sun.
The sun. That it doesn't have to.
The Neshama is Etzem Chai.
Yeah, it doesn't have to give out its rays or energy. Just by being there, automatically the world becomes day.
Go ahead.
So my question is it the same? So some way, by other soifah we say the oil is there, and because I'm there, even I'm not giving out any whatever energy or something. Just by being there, it happens this effect. And by oipanimi, I have actually to go down and build it up and do it.
Well, the means by which we can be presented, how we can understand these concepts, is from the human being. The human being is also an atzmi. Atzmi means his presence in the world has a certain reality beyond his effect, beyond his activity. As we say all the time, the halacha states that a person who's nachmonsan agoises means somebody who's hardly living in the last moments of life. He's struggling to stay alive, and this is goises. It's called the end moments. If at that moment, the halacha says at those moments, you're not allowed to touch him, because if you touch him, you're distracting him from taking the next breath, and you may be instrumental in shortening his life by a second. And therefore you have the sin of taking a life. His life is totally useless. Because life of a person in the world, what's called in atzmi. This represents the Mebushin's presence in the world. Right? The Mebushin created a human being. It was a completely different creation than all other creatures. As we mentioned many times, please reflect on this. If the world has been created, stopped the creation at the end of Friday morning, everything was there. Even the elephants and the tigers and the fowl, everything was there. The cats and the mice, and they were already chasing away each other out. So the world is already come to life. If the Rebbe would at that time say, okay, I'll have a world. I'm asking you to tell me, would that make any sense? That world.
It's like nothing.
Why is it nothing? It's a whole world.
What is it about?
That's right. It has no point. Why is it? Why not? It's active. Because there is no significance to it. Even as you come into in the middle of a big feast, of a simcha, a chasana, but you are not an invited guest. You come in and you say, good food, oh, let me partake the food. Are you a participant in what's going on, or you're not? Hello?
No.
You're not participating? Why? You're eating the food? Because what's going on consists of the principles that are part of the simcha, the chosen kala and the mechotonim. And if you're doing the food, you have absolutely, it's a complete absence, insignificance. The same would be the creation without the human being having added to the creation. Human being, this represents what the creation is about. Because only the human being recognizes that the creation has an author, has a creator.
So it's like a creation without a creator.
That's right. The creation has an author, and the author has an idea in mind why he created it. And only the human being is privy to that principle. This is the principle, that the creation is from the ratzon. The ratzon means that there is an intent in the creation. Even though the factual creation is from koches pnimiyim, from the oires pnimiyim. But what is it about? Where is the creator in the creation? That is expressed in the ratzon.
But my question was to distinct, if you can say on Ora Soiver, this type of concept like the etzem, because the oil is there, he's not doing anything. Just
okay, so let's come back to this, then your question. This essential presence that gives everything a significance brings the significance because of his presence, not because of any activity that he brings along.
To remain on this call, press 1.
We initially we spoke about the sun, the light of the sun. And we said that the presence of the sun transforms the world from being a dark world to being a bright world. It transforms it, not that it makes it visible. It transforms it. Because there is an etzem behiri, there is behiri. And let me explain. Please follow this. If this is dark and you bring light to it, you just bring light. You don't transform it. You're able to see your way around. Transformation is when you change the whole definition of the world. It's not a dark world, because that's in Behiri. If it was not in essence, then you have to bring light that makes you see. But you're not bringing light. You bring something which is brightness in itself. That changes the whole materials of the world. Bringing the human being into the world, bringing the human being into the world transforms the world. into a worldly world, from a worldly world to a divine world, to a truly meaningful world. This is what happened when Adam Rishon came to the world. His very presence brought the world up, raised the world to a different status.
Without him doing anything.
Without him doing anything. Exactly. In our experience, this is the same as the host at the chasana. This is the similar thing, the host in your home.
So is this called oil market? This is what I'm trying to get to.
Yes, this is okay.
Because we learned about this before.
Yeah. In everything, I said there's etzem and hispashtus. The hispashtus of the etzem is a noim makif. But the most powerful effect of the etzem is the presence of the etzem itself. Not his hispashtus, not his effect.
I'm trying to understand the difference between the oil market and the openimi. If we could say that because the oil is there, because of its presence, this is what's affecting, and openimi means...
No, wait a second. The presence is not from the oil. The presence is from the etzem.
Okay, but we're talking about oil market, so obviously something...
Oil market, this is the hispashtus of the etzem.
Okay, so the effect of the oil market, is it like the same to say that he doesn't have to do anything because of the oil is there?
No, they're not doing anything is because of the etzem.
So the oil market is doing something to affect?
The oil makif is giving a makif. Is bringing a makif, a higher sense, but he's bringing something. Bringing an oil.
He's bringing the oil, but he's not involved in creating his effect. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's right, but he's bringing the oil.
He's bringing the oil. And the oipanimi is more that he's involved in building up what is he's affecting. He's getting involved to do something about. I mean,
This union that is bringing the oil makif is bringing the world. This is what ultimately transforms the world. Even though he doesn't do anything, but he raises the world to a different category.
But the oipanimi, he does have to do something.
Oipanimi has to do something. We can go in circles, but I'd like we should understand. The Rebbe should create a world. The Rebbe is creation. When the Rebbe does something, it's a wholesome being. Not like a human being creates things piecemeal. It takes a board and attaches it to another board, and eventually it turns out to be a table. The Rebbe should create what he wants to create. That's what he creates. He created a human being as a human being, not piecemeal and put them together, and then he has all kinds of different faculties. It's an essential unit that he created.
It's like when we have it in our mind, a human being, we don't build him up. He's a human being.
That's right. Every time we start, I go back. Yeah.
I want to go back to, it's not exactly clear in my mind. You just said Hashem created the world at once. The elephants, the tigers, and the human being, it's one whole creation. But inside this creation, there are moments. The first day, the second day, the third day. Is that differentiation relevant to in other words, before man was created?
Here's the illustration of that concept that came to mind to me over the weekend. You build a house, and then it becomes a home. The minute it becomes a home, means you own it as a human being. It's still a house, still just four walls. But as you step into your house, you immediately begin to picture. This is the dining room, this is the living room. And here is what is going to come here, this is what come here. It's not there yet. But because you perceive these things from a wholesome, from a human perspective, everything is there already. When you bring differentiation in, that's already the practical, that's the last step. But the real chayas, the real oyer, has been created at the moment when you owned it. And this is, it transforms it from being a shell of walls to being a real entity. An entity that demands that you should put furniture in there. The house itself demands you should bring furniture in there. Okay. Okay, I said we started with the line that begins with the word dufkah. Rebbe said that his havos, the creation of the world, is from ratzon havaya. Ratzon is oyer makif. Ratzon is a very difficult thing for us to identify because we have ratzon chitzeni. We also have ratzon that to satisfy my hunger or something like that. And we call this ratzon. This is not ratzon. This is a ratzon caused by some kind of a need. Ratzon is a neshama principle. Like I said, for example, I'd like to understand ratzon.
Sorry, what is that last statement? Ratzon is a neshama what?
It's a neshama principle.
Okay.
You give a person, for example, everything that he needs. All his needs are physical and physical experience, food and lodging and a chair and a bed and everything he needs. Except he does not have a sense of what he's there for. Okay, now I woke up in the morning, what am I supposed to do? There's nothing to do. It's all done. This is called boredom.
Ennui.
Huh?
Is there a French word ennui?
Ennui, yeah.
Which is
What is it?
kind of a boredom?
Ennui.
On you?
Ennui. Boredom, listlessness, boredom.
Ennui is
On you. He's bored. He's got nothing to do. What you complain? You have everything. Boredom is the most painful thing for a human being than anything else. Boredom can bring a person to total fatal activity. People go and they inflict pain on themselves in order to say, oh, I'm still alive. Because he's so bored, he's got nothing here.
Overeating.
Huh?
Overeating is a symptom of that.
Overeating. As
Overeating. What's so terrible about boredom? You can engage all your faculties. You can engage all your faculties. But you do not have the will to persist to the next moment. You exist in this moment. And this moment satisfies you completely. There's no next moment. If you put a person into, as I said whatever, into a capsule. You know what a capsule is?
Capsule.
Capsule. Flies up in the sky. And you put in there all human needs. What he needs throughout his lifetime. Food and everything, air. And he's flying around. What's he missing? Will he constantly, possibly find himself? A human being is there to be effective, to tell the world what he is about. If there is no world in his life, then he is not a human being.
That means boredom, that he's not effective.
Yeah. He's got nothing to live for. Huh?
So how could such a situation be? If it's
How can it be?
It's such an essential part of it. How a person is created to. It's part of it. It seems like it's something blocking it. But
It's coming from Gan Eden.
it's one with the essence of.
Loving parents. Loving parents. The kid wants a glass of water. A glass of water. The kid wants a glass of water. The mommy says, sit, I'll bring you the water. The kid is looking around, what are you looking for? I'm looking for the bread. Oh, okay, here is the bread. Are you doing him a favor or a disfavor?
Disservice.
How do you identify this disfavor? You're attending to all his needs. You're attending to his pneumius needs, but not his makir need. To his essential need. He's not given cognizance to his being a human being, a creative, a purposeful creature. The greatest favor, the greatest duty of parents is to give their child a sense that he is there to build his own life.
This building one's own life, right? So on the physical level, space, and he has all the things he needs to do. Say somebody gets into real wealth. Now their purpose is more in the realm of time. They're going to have to.
What do you mean all the time?
We started with a child and how he needs to become more and more effective within space. But if we really take this to the end, the man who becomes incredibly wealthy, he still needs to maintain his effectivity.
Okay.
And now it
Please
goes into
explain it all the way. You're missing the whole dimension.
Mm.
A human being is not just a belly
Exactly.
or a mouth.
Right.
He's got a soul, he's got
Yes.
got a seichel and midas. This is where his primary activities are.
Okay. And that is never ending, and it's
That's
based
never
on
ending
something
because
that's
that
never
is that
understood.
that
never-
has infinity in its access.
Yes, and it's never really defined. It's not about this or that goal. It's about being in God's world and taking part
And
doing.
knowing more and more about God. And that is, in fact, is endless. And if you tell your kid, you don't have to worry about these things outside of your orientation of your life. Take care of your needs, your immediate needs. You're destroying the morale and the spirit of this person. All right. So I think we have it packed. Okay, again, the line begins with the word dufkah. It's approximately 10 lines from the bottom. The worlds are created from ratzon avaya. And the Rebbe explains why we have to go to ratzon. Why not me pnimi, the functioning koiches? The mehoy pnimi, because from the oy pnimi, which means oyer, that has a specific identity. Seichel and midas, be'etzem. If this oy pnimi be'etzem, not oy pnimi that it is not an oy pnimi that fulfills a directive from the rotz, but oy pnimi that's pnimi in itself. From that, it's not possible that there should be his habas ho'ilomis, the coming to be of world. These words are very exactly chosen. His coming to be of world. What is meant by the word his habas ho'ilomis coming to be of world? Is this. Sheharei, and he explains why can it not be from a pnimi. Sheharei, for behold, hoi pnimi, this hoi pnimi hu shemei begilut. This is what shines and expresses itself begilut in full regalia, in full revelation, b'pchinas pnimi, in a pnimius manner. Let's use a moshel in a very simplest thing. The hand has the ability to move. And along with that, it can move things that are in its way and so forth. This ability for the hand to move is an ability that is in the hand itself. It's not, the hand is able to move independently of anything else. The koyach of movement. Umemela. Since this is a koyach that is mislabish in the hand, it's part and parcel of the hand. What is the hand is able to accomplish? It follows. Whatever it can accomplish, whatever it can bring to be, it is imperative, it must be that whatever he does is be'erech, is in proximity, is more or less what the hand is. The hand cannot, because it has the ability to move, the hand cannot build a house. It can move. It has a kind of movement. Or something of a creative nature. Something that is beyond the physical movement, the hand cannot create on its own. It doesn't even perceive what it's about. That's mishabesh b'pnimius. This is the hand. This is what it has. It doesn't have anything more.
He doesn't see the bigger picture.
It doesn't have a bigger picture.
No makif.
No akif. We already touched upon this last time. Yeah. So all its activity, all that we can create is always erech, in direct proximity to what it already has. This b'phinas erech is not what we mean by his house. This is what is going to be explained now. It's going to take a little time to get there, but I want to preempt it so that we will. It takes us time to get through a couple of lines, so I want to preempt it. His havus means to bring into existence something that is an independent presence. It is not present because something made me. It has its own reality. It doesn't mean his havus, to create something.
Yesh me'ayin.
Yesh me'ayin. We always say that a table consists of a board and 4 legs. Now the board
It's got 9 lives.
Right. A chutzpah, right?
No, it's done.
The board is necessary. The board serves a purpose. You want to have a cup, you have to put it on the board. What are the 4 legs about?
Holds it up.
How is the 4 legs part of the table? 4 legs is an external thing because the table is going to fall down, so you make 4 legs. It's not part of the definition of a table. Hello? Are the 4 legs part of the definition of the table or not?
In this world,
It is.
We
Huh?
also learned in Gan Eden, not the,
yeah, right?
yeah, I don't remember the Indian, but we're learning about
Golden table.
the golden table, the Maya.
No, please.
What mean by part of definition?
This is not. It's not a superficial question. I'm asking you a meaningful question. Why do we say that the table consists of a board with 4 legs? People think of a board, and the 4 legs is to hold it up.
Has to stand in the world.
To drink water, I have to have water in a cup, but I have to have a hand to serve it. And that's peripheral. That's not part of drinking.
Wait, table part of standing is having legs.
Oh, does it? Why? No, don't shake your hand. Bring it out.
Because it has an independent thing.
Oh, does it?
Because it's independent.
It has a real presence.
The legs make it independent?
Yes,
Yeah.
it stands on its own.
It's not being held up.
It stands on its own. There's a real presence in the world. A table is a board with 4 legs. The 4 legs is part of the definition of a table. Otherwise, it is not. It is a flighty existence. It's not a real presence. The 4 legs, if I may, the 4 legs, the concept of the 4 legs, please understand. The table came from the human being. I need a table to put my cup down. The concept of 4 legs came from a higher source in the person.
Again, the four legs came from a higher source than the person or in the person?
Then the desire to have a place to put my cup down.
Okay.
To put my cup down, this is directly from the
Why
person.
higher? You might just say it was secondary.
No, higher. Not secondary, it is
Yeah,
primary.
I'm listening, yeah, because because it's now going to have a kiyum. It's now going to.
It gave it the reason that there was a four lines that came from the principle that I exist in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I'm not just there because
Yeah.
I have a cup.
Or a board. Yeah.
The board is an answer to the cup.
And the legs makes it real.
Oh, so where do you get the idea of reality?
Ratzon.
Ratzon, not from holding the cup in your hand.
Right.
That's not from holding the cup in your hand. The cup is because you hold the cup. That makes you be aware that the table has to have legs. No. This is what we say. The ratzon is the real creator. Whereas Pnimim can have a double create all kinds of things. They'll all be be'erech. It will be a response to a need. Ratzon creates something independently. The fact that the human being recognizes that the table has to stand firm right in front of him, standing and not budge until he moves it. This is from a higher sense in the human being than the need to put a cup down. This is what we're saying.